Hello, my name is Dr. Diwan S. Raja. Today I will discuss about the structures in the mid-sagittal section of the brain in a model. This is a right cerebral hemisphere model. This is another right cerebral hemisphere model. For comparison, we'll go one by one. This is the cerebellum. This is present in the posterior cranial fossa below the tentorium cerebelli, and cerebellum is essential for maintenance of equilibrium and posture, and it also maintains the muscle tone so that our movement should be in right direction, right extent with right force. In front of the cerebellum, we have the fourth ventricle. In the cerebellum, we have both the gray matter and white matter. The white matter looking like the branches of a tree, we call it arbor vitae. Again, here in front of the cerebellum, we have the fourth ventricle. It looks like a tent or diamond shaped appearance. This fourth ventricle, it is bounded anteriorly by the pons, posteriorly by the cerebellum. Anteriorly, you have also part of the medulla oblongata. So, anteriorly pons and medulla oblongata, posteriorly by the cerebellum. So, if we go up, here we'll get the superior and inferior colliculi. Here on both sides, we'll get 4 colliculis, 2 superior colliculi, 2 inferior colliculi by 2 cerebral hemisphere. We call it corpora quadrigemina. Okay, we got that. Then we'll find out here, this is the calcarine sulcus. Calcarine sulcus is associated with vision. If we just compare here, we have the calcarine sulcus here. This is the calcarine sulcus going to the occipital pole of the brain. Okay, so we got the calcarine sulcus here, and we have always must remember that sulcus and gyrus may be a little bit variable from person to person, even in the 2 cerebral hemisphere. This is the pineal body, very important structure. Pineal body, along with the suprachiasmatic nucleus of the hypothalamus, maintains the 24-hour circadian rhythm of our homeostasis. Okay, so it maintains the sleep and wake cycle by the association with that of the suprachiasmatic nucleus of the hypothalamus. And this pineal gland is also associated with reproductive function, especially in some animals. Okay, for their sexual development, its malfunction may lead to precocious puberty or may cause delayed puberty depending on the number of the cells present in the pineal body. Pineal body also contains 5-hydroxytryptamine that is converted into melatonin, and pineal body is also sensitive to the photoreceptor in the eye. So we got the pineal body. Then now this is the corpus callosum. Okay, this is the great commissual fiber. This is the corpus callosum. This is the body of the corpus callosum here. This is the body of the corpus callosum. They made the number 4 here. Okay, so this is the body of the corpus callosum. This is the splenium. This is the genu of the corpus callosum, and this is the rostrum of the corpus callosum. This is the septum pellucidum. Just inside the septum pellucidum, we have the lateral ventricle. This is the fornix. Okay, fornix and the septum pellucidum. We have the anterior commissure and the posterior commissure here. We should have an opening here that is called interventricular foramina of Monro. Okay, that communicate the lateral ventricle to the third ventricle. Third ventricle is the slit-like area, just like two thalamus coming close together here. This area is the third ventricular area, and thalamus, hypothalamus forms the lateral wall of the third ventricle. Okay, so thalamus is the major sensory relay station. So all type of sensation should go through the thalamus except the olfaction before going to the cerebral cortex. So all sensation should go through the thalamus with exception of the olfactory function. All sensory fibers should go through the thalamus before going to the cerebral cortex. Okay. Now we got the third ventricle. This is the fourth ventricle. Communication by means of cerebral aqueduct. Cerebral aqueduct passes inside the midbrain. This is the midbrain. This is the tectum part of the midbrain. This is the part, the tegmentum part here. Okay, so this is in between them. We have the cerebral aqueduct or aqueduct of Sylvius. It may be blocked, and we will get the hydrocephalus, the non-communicating hydrocephalus. Or pineal gland may go through a tumor formation that may also block this part. That may also lead to non-communicating hydrocephalus. That means excessive collection of cerebrospinal fluid in our ventricular system. Okay, so this is the hypothalamus. This is the pituitary gland in the sella turcica, part of the sphenoid bone, and this is the pituitary gland connected to the hypothalamus. It has two parts, anterior pituitary, posterior pituitary. Okay, this is the part, we call it optic chiasm. Okay, so this is the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, optic chiasm. Okay, we'll also get here the mammillary body here. Okay, underneath this part, just in the interpeduncular fossa. Okay, just in front of the midbrain, we have the mammillary body that may be damaged in a person who is alcoholic. Okay, that may lead to dementia or some type of memory problem. Okay, in Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Okay, we got that. This part is called Cuneus, and this is the parieto-occipital sulcus. This part is called Cuneus, conical part. This is the precuneus. Okay, this is the central sulcus. This is the paracentral lobule. This is the paracentral